For those of you who have taken time out to watch this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, are the elites using the Diddy tapes as leverage against those in the entertainment industry to coerce them to support Kamala Harris and force the so-called black vote back to the Democratic Party? I don't believe these two events are nebulous. I believe they're related based on the timing. Here's what some people who are paying attention know. The industry elites went after Diddy about crimes they are all guilty of in some way or another. What Diddy is being indicted for is common to the industry. The beatdown he put on Cassie was suppressed by the elites. They all knew, but they willfully withheld evidence until now. What happened? Something happened that made elites turn on Diddy. Did Diddy do anything against the elites? Why now? Why during the most critical part of the presidential campaign is Diddy being prosecuted? As we take a deeper dive into this subject, I want you to pay attention to what has come up lately, i.e., Magic Johnson and Barack Obama. Magic Johnson, who normally doesn't play a significant role in presidential campaigns other than he may offer his endorsement. But I mean, maybe I missed it. It's been a while. I haven't seen Magic go on a stump speech for any candidates in times past. Now, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen that happen. They brought Barack Obama out of retirement to stump for the Harris-Walsh campaign, which I thought is not unusual, but again, the timing. We're in the last, 24, 25 days of this election, and now they're rolling out what some perceive to be the big guns. What does this have in common to do with the freak-off tapes? I think it has a lot in common. I think the party elites are so desperate to return the black vote back to the Democratic Party, or they not only may lose this race, this presidential race, they may lose the House and the Senate, which may carry an even graver tone for some, because we all know that we don't know who did it, but we do know someone tried to take the president's life out there. Now, they blamed Iran. They said it could have been some of their operatives for Trump taking out one of their leaders. But that's the media. And you know how the media, how accurate they can be from time to time. Okay? So, with that thought in mind, let's get into it.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly. And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome.
I don't know if y'all were paying attention to that, but Obama was low-key playing the race card with these group of young black men that he's talking to. Now, if you have observed Obama, because I voted for him both times, and Hillary Clinton, so I speak as a person who was a Democrat, okay? If you have observed Obama, in this speech he's making right now, he looks kind of uncomfortable, which leads me to believe that he has been admonished to come out and speak on behalf of Kamala Harris and her campaign, because this is a very important election for some, I would just say, who are probably enemies of the other side of the ticket of President Trump and what he is trying to get accomplished, that he started in his first administration, that he wants to finish off in a second administration. So when you see Barack Obama out making these kind of audacious claims to black men, this is another thing. Why? How are black men to blame for Kamala Harris's shortcomings? How are they putting this on black men? And Magic Johnson made a similar. He didn't make the same speech, but he made statements toward black men, because black men have seen the light of the day, and they understand that if we continue to keep doing things the way they've been doing, they're gonna stay the same. And thank God, some brothers have turned, and now they're going in another direction. And when you do that, you give yourself an opportunity to see what the outcome may be. But if you stay and continue doing the same things, don't be shocked if you get the same result.
And achieves the second highest office in the land, and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got health care, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting down? I'm not. But, Cousin Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that, because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
Now I want you to pay close attention to what you just heard now. Not once during that entire conversation did he mention anything specific about Kamala Harris's policies, about that he just said that she was clear on. But he didn't mention anything. He didn't say one thing to these guys. See, now, it would be different if he was coming out and talking about what Kamala Harris is able to do. But he turned this into a, let me talk to the brothers, because you all are not voting for Kamala Harris in the same way you all voted for me. And I have a problem with that. I'm like, are you serious, man? When I saw this, I'm like, wow. I mean, he must be under some kind of pressure to say this to our community, to the men in our community. Like, we're the problem. Like, y'all need to get on board regardless. Don't worry about her. Just know she looked like y'all. She went to college like y'all. Did you hear all of that? Did y'all hear all of that? And that's a reason to vote for Kamala Harris. And this was from a former president whom I believed at the time that he was very intelligent. And now he's standing in a room full of brothers making a speech like this. And he's looking very, very out of touch with the community. Because if he's been paying attention to the community in a sense has been red-pilled. And we're starting to see what things for what they are. And what they are is, it's not working out our way. We're voting for the Democratic ticket is not benefiting our community. And it hasn't benefited our community. It has enriched and enlarged the pockets of Democrats and their agendas. They sending all of this money to Ukraine. They don't ask us what we think about that. All we ask for is a little something, and they like, well, we don't have it. Same thing they doing to them people in North Carolina, them people in the hills, talking about waiting on FEMA to do something, and FEMA is twiddling their thumbs. Yeah, this was pretty glaring for me, and this is why I did this video, because I think, well, I hope I'm wrong, but I think these Diddy tapes are tied to these people you're gonna see in the last days leading up to the election, campaigning, coming out of nowhere, campaigning for Kamala Harris. I want y'all to keep that in mind. You see, some people you may know, some people you may not know, some people you may say to yourself, wow, I never thought I'd see them on the campaign trail. And I want y'all to think back about them Diddy tapes, because I don't believe his arrest or his prosecution is not germane to just what they're accusing Diddy of. I think it's tied to this election. And that's why I did this video. So let me know what you think. As I said in the beginning, please like, comment, and subscribe and share. Let me know what you think, though. YouTube, talk to me. I'm out.